Hello everyone, this is Josh Bastine with Coker University. I'm going to show you how you can do tables inside of Blackboard Ultra. When Blackboard updated the text editor in Ultra, they did not include the ability to do tables. So some people like tables, sometimes a table is the best way to get information across. So the only way currently to do tables inside of Blackboard Ultra is to do it using HTML. Fortunately, you don't need to know much about HTML in order to do a table. It's relatively straightforward. So I will just show you that real quick. So we're just going to recreate this table. So I have made a new document. I went to the plus button and I create, and you just create a document, and it'll come up looking something like this, except it won't have this table here, obviously. So I hit the plus button and we're going to add HTML. We're not going to add content, we're going to add HTML. So this gives you a little HTML editor right here. So there are a few tags you need to know in HTML, and you can just copy paste this if you want to. There's lots of places online where you can get this, but to do this you need to create a table, which is like that. You use the less than and the greater than signs in order to denote this as a tag. So this is an opening tag, and then down below you can create a closing tag, which is the same except you use a slash first. So this opens the tag, this closes the tag, where this is the whole table, and inside of there you put your information. We're going to have 3 rows. We can have as many as you want. We're going to have 3 columns. So the first row is going to be the header, and then we're going to have 2 data rows, and then we're just going to have 3 columns. You can expand this however you want. So I like to hit space a couple times to indent it, and then we're going to have the TR, which stands for table row. And then just like the other thing, we need to close this table row. And inside of here, I'm going to indent a little bit. We're going to have TH, which is table head. What this will do is this will make it look like this with a little bit bolded. And it also tells screen readers that, hey, this is the table head and this is the table body. So it makes it more accessible to do it this way. So we're going to have a table head first name, and then you close the table head. Now I have these tags on the same line. You could, if you wanted to, put them on a different line like that. There's nothing wrong with that. The HTML doesn't care how you format it. This is just me and how I like to do it. So I'm going to have a table head first name, then I'm going to have a table head last name, then I'm going to have a table head major. Oops, I forgot to close my tag. Major. I don't need that extra space right there. So if I go ahead and save this, we can see what it looks like. And you see it just has that first row, and it doesn't have any border around it. We'll get to the border in a second, but you can see that it is recreating this table. So let's come in here and we're going to edit. So after my table row, because this is one row right there, after my table row, I'm going to start another table row, and I'm just going to go ahead and close it. I like to create the closing tags at the same time that I create the opening tags, that way I don't accidentally forget. So now we're no longer in the header, we're in the data of the table. So I'm going to do TD, which stands for table data. And let's do Bruce TD, TD Wayne, TD Bruce Wayne's major would probably be something like engineering, or possibly wasting money. But we have Bruce Wayne, so let's go ahead and save that. And now you see we have first name Bruce, last name Wayne, major is engineering. Let's go ahead and just add one more, and I'm just going to copy this. That way I don't have to type them all out by hand, and I recommend you do the same. Let's do Barry, Allen, probably physics or maybe chemistry, I think would be appropriate for him. Save. And now we have our header and our 2 rows. But this still looks different. And this table, this layout right here, isn't all that helpful because the information is easy to kind of get confused because we don't have these lines outlining everything. So I'm going to show you how you can do that, and it's relatively simple. Come back in here to edit. So what we need to do is we need to add what's called CSS, or styles. CSS stands for cascading style sheets, but we don't care about that. We just want to know how we can put lines between our things. To do that, you come at the very top. You can put this at the bottom if you like, but it's a good practice to put it at the top. And we're going to do a style tag. Now, for anyone who knows HTML and CSS, don't yell at me. We're not going to include external CSS sheets because Blackboard doesn't like it. We have to do it all right here. So for the style, we just have to choose what we're going to style. Well, we're going to style the table, we're going to style the rows, and we're going to style the data. And then curly brackets right there. And inside of there, I'm just going to put a border of 1 pixel solid black, followed by a semicolon. Now, I don't expect you to know this. You should just copy and paste this. This is not something that I'm going to explain or you should really understand. Just copy and paste it. If I hit save, you'll see that it is created here, and it looks almost the same. I forgot to put it around the TH. TR, instead of TD, I should have done TH. So let's save. Nope. Let's do it around all of them. TH and TD. There we go. So you see here that I have now created a table, and you can expand this however you want. If you want to add additional columns, so let's say first name, last name, major, and I don't know, age. TH, adding a header, TH for header, age. And then down here for each of the rows, I would need to add table data, Bruce Wayne, we'll say he's 30. Barry Allen, table data, we'll say he's 25. So I added 1 element to each row, save, and you can see here that the table itself expanded. And there's a ton of things that you can do with styles, with that style section. There's a ton of things that you can do with that to customize the width or the height, or add some padding around each of these, or change the colors, or make the different types of borders. There's a ton of things you can do, but I wanted to keep this as simple as possible. If you're interested in looking that up, you can just Google CSS table styles, and you'll get this one. W3 Schools is a perfectly good source, and it kind of walks you through all the different things that you can do. You can add a border property, so you'll see here this one does a table, TH and TD. You can have a full width table where you set the width to 100%. So if I wanted to do that, I could come in here into my style, and for a table, set the width to 100% and save. And you see here now that it took up the entire 100% of its container. So there's a ton of things you can do with styles if you want to kind of get more and more and more involved into it. This is a very, very brief overview of it. There's a ton more. You can do size, you can do alignment, you can do table style to make it look different, or you can change the padding. There's a ton of things you can do with tables. But the basics that'll get the point across is right here. If you have any questions, please just email support@coker.edu and we'll be happy to help. Thanks.